Let's see how Americans are feeling about the new
I bet they
the White House.
love it.
The Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll we were talking about earlier also found a majority of Americans do not support President Trump's ballroom at the White House. 56% oppose the project.
Saw that coming.
Only 28% of Americans support that expensive new ballroom. 16% not sure yet.
Can I ask a question, Willie? Who is that 28%?
They love it.
Are these like MAGA people that are like having trouble like paying their car loans and paying their health care costs? And they're going, oh, I love the idea of the president deciding in the middle of this crisis and government shutdown to tear down half of the White House and put up a Marie Antoinette Memorial Ballroom.
I mean,
who are those 28%?
People ride or dies with Donald Trump.
Ride or
when
die,
the Washington
baby.
Post calls, you say, I'm with him. I'm with him. Independents, by the way, overwhelmingly against the ballroom. 61% of them.
Oh, my God.
Those people vote a lot. They oppose that addition to the White House. So, well, not a huge surprise there, but just now we see it in the numbers.
Yeah, and Sam Stein, I guess the question is, why? Again, with everything that's going on right now, is there no Republican that can go over to the White House and say, Mr. President, you're really not helping matters here?
Well, hold on 1 second. Let's wait and see what the polls look like after folks see the gold trimmings and the chandeliers. They haven't seen the final product, okay? This is premature.
That is true. That is true. And, maybe if they hold up their insurance premiums to the gold chandelier, maybe they see like a secret message in their lottery numbers or something. I don't know.
Honestly, this has been kind of mind-blowing to me.
It's mind-blowing.
I mean, the metaphor, obviously, of tearing down the White House is one thing, but, the building of a structure that's going to dwarf the White House and to have it financed by the biggest corporations in the world and have it, decked out in gold and dangle the possibility that it's going to be the Donald J. Trump ballroom. I mean, this isn't like genius stuff to realize that this is going to backfire on you. But Susan, I mean, you've been writing about East Wing and the White House and sort of the nostalgia that people actually feel for the institution and the building itself. Speak a little bit to that. I mean, it's just like voters look at this and they're like, wait a second, they're tearing history away from us.
The pictures of that backhoe were pretty dramatic. Tearing down one side of the White House. Every American who's gone on a White House tour has walked through the East Wing, down that long hallway with the wood paneling and the beautiful portraits. Right. It's something that not just people who go to state dinners have experienced. And it was at odds with what President Trump said this ballroom would be. He said it would be next to the East Wing, not replacing the East Wing. And he depicted it as something that would be a little less dominating than we think it's going to be. The number in that Washington Post poll that interests me the most, Republicans who support the ballroom, 62%. Now, that may sound like a lot, but for asking Republicans if they support something Donald Trump has done, the number to be only 62% is something we haven't seen on any other issue that he's been associated with.
Yeah, I mean, and Jonathan, I mean, it is important for us to say that the president has denied that he was going to call it the Donald J. Trump
if you believe
ballroom. But, he also said he was not going to touch the existing structure. I want to show those numbers again of independents, because, again, all of this, again, we're doing this for a reason. All of this meshes together. Whether you're a New Jersey voter, whether you're a Virginia voter, whether you're voting out in California, whether you're a New York voter, you look at these independents, only 17%. You just don't see numbers this low. Support the president, just completely obliterating the East Wing of the White House. And again, history there, incredible history in the East Wing, but obliterating it. And then, the proposed grand golden lined ballroom, the tone may be a little off.
Yeah, as President Trump has a challenging relationship with the truth, but I would argue that perhaps one of his biggest lies ever would be that he would not name the ballroom after himself. In fact, we reported in the last week or so that he's already talking about what kind of gold font might use for the Donald J. Trump ballroom.
Yeah.
But no, it's the timing of this is everything else. It's to do it in the middle of a shutdown, to lie, to deceive the people about the nature of the project and the scope of it, to just tear it down. And first of all, as costs still high, inflation's still up, and as the government is shut down, and to do this and to provide Democrats with literally an on-the-nose metaphor of what you're doing as president by tearing down half of the people's house. And if there might have been a way. There have been projects at the White House before. You go through the process, you take time, you bring in experts. Okay, maybe, but that's not at all what happened here.
Well,
he just went full
and there are people that are saying, you know, if he had done it the right.
So the Ballroom project continues to fail. And I know, again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the only thing we should be talking about. Millions of working-class Americans are going to lose food. And again, we need to make this clear. The vast, vast majority of food stamp benefits, of SNAP beneficiaries, are people who work or people who reasonably shouldn't be expected to, including children, right? We shouldn't expect children to have to work for food, right? In my view, we shouldn't expect anybody to work for food. But I suppose there is an ideological portion of the country that believes some portion of the population should be allowed to starve if they don't work. Maybe adults of a certain age who are able to work, whatever. But if we put those people aside, we realize that many are children, the elderly, the disabled, or people who are working and are still getting cut off. And so they act like Marie Antoinette, like Donnie Antoinette, right? Let them eat cake. Let them eat whatever while I build my ballroom. But he's not even going to give them bread. He's taking away the food stamps because he wants the shutdown to happen, because he needs that food stamp money to go to billionaires, like his buddies. And he also doesn't want the files to be opened. We know that too. Much like the French royals before the Revolution, they want to live in luxury in their fancy Versailles White House ballrooms, and they want to have all the finest things while the peasants starve. Except this is worse. I'm not going to defend the French aristocracy, but the United States, in the year of our Lord 2025, is a much wealthier society than pre-revolutionary France. In our society, the rich can have everything and still be taxed more while providing basic necessities to everybody else. There's enough to go around. The rich can live their undeserved, luxurious lives and still ensure people don't starve. And yet, Donnie Antoinette is even worse than King Louis, worse than that guy in terms of how he revels in the inequality of the day.